If you want to build an excellent workplace for the employees and keep them engaged and happy at work, then this is the book for you. In this video, we will be looking at the summary of the book Peopleware, Productive Projects and Teams, 3rd edition. Tom DeMarco and Timothy Lister wrote Peopleware and published it in 1987. The 2nd edition of the book was released in 1999. We'll be going through the summary of the 3rd edition, which got released in 2013. The original version of the book got preserved in the 2nd edition as well, with added new chapters. The 3rd edition, this one on the other hand, has new chapters and changes to the original content as well. Before going into the summary, let's look at the personal bio of the authors. Let's take a look at Timothy Lister first. Tim is a software engineer working as a principal in Atlantic Systems Guild for almost close to 40 years. 40 years, that too in the same company, that's a lot of years. It's tough to see people working in the same company for so many years in the same technical role. He authored and as well as co-authored close to 6 significant works. Tom DeMarco is the software engineer as well, born in 1940. He is almost 81 years of age now, currently. In the 1970s, DeMarco was one of the significant figures in developing structured analysis and structured design in software engineering. In January 1978, he published Structured Analysis and System Specification. He also worked as a principal with Atlantic Systems Guild and has authored close to 16 significant works. 30 years back, on a flight from Los Angeles to Sydney, Tim and Tom traveled to teach one of their software engineering lecture series. During their conversation in the middle of the night, they figured out that many of the problems in the systems work that arise are merely sociological than technological. This conversation further led to exciting discussions and set the stage for Peopleware. The book is divided into 4 parts and has 39 chapters. Cover to cover, this book is almost close to 250 pages. In this computer era, we have hardware and as well as software. We have discussed and studied a lot about hardware and software many times. Focusing more on this technical stuff, we missed a vital ingredient called people, the Peopleware. There were so many good things discussed in this section: managing the human resources like workaholism, productivity, overtime, management, etc. Some good poem references in some chapters were relatable and enjoyable too. The key concepts from this section that I personally liked are: employees do put in more hours of work in body shopping companies, but it's taken as only 9 hours, which is a fraud. Nobody will ever tell you how much it costs to replace an experienced employee. When you pressure people, they work faster, they do not work better. Quality is free for those who are willing to pay heavily for it. Unrealistic estimations and expectations put people's morale down to the bottom. How an office environment should be is discussed as part of this section, the office environment. There's a reason for cubicle designs in workplace, why the windows or the outside view is away from cubicles and so on. It is studied and as well as observed that a quiet and spacious workspace can get more work done than a noisy one. Workflow gets interrupted when a person interacts with more than one person. This section mostly talks about keeping a good workplace design than help people increase productivity. The author also brings references to the Christopher Alexander's book, The Timeless Way of Building, for effective workplace designs. If you need more information, you can refer that book as well. This section discusses leadership, multitasking, turnovers, working closely with others, bringing a new employee up to speed, etc. One thing I learned from this section is continuous partial attention, which means it is not the same as multitasking but a totally different one. You can find out more on this topic because it is pretty interesting. This section will learn more about team bonding, things that affect teams like bureaucracy, lousy management, and bad rules. I like the quote from this section: visual supervision is a joke for development workers. Visual supervision, it's basically for prisoners. Fertile soil section focuses on meetings, methodologies, risks, emails, organizational learning, making changes, communities, and even corporate politics. The quote I liked from this section is community doesn't just happen on the job, it has to be made. The people who make it are the unsung heroes of our work experience. The last part is about workplace fun, and the key learnings will be around brainstorming, trips, retreats, celebrations, and training. If you want to build an excellent workplace for the employees and keep them engaged and happy at work, then this is the book for you. See you in another book summary.